Yeah, that's a big convict right there.
You're just going to fillet this sucker right off the bone?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fish Out Northwest, waiting on Tommy Donlin.
This is what you call a bait stop.
Drinking my buddy's homemade wine, living Northwest wild. Hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Winucci when it gets hot. I'm proud of all the things that I've got.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fish on Northwest. Waiting on Tommy Donlin here. And in-studio guest this evening, Mike Groff, 4 seasoned fighters, back for more views, my friend.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you for that. Yeah, good to be here.
May I have another?
Yes, you will. We have plenty to get to with you as we progress through the show tonight. Some good stuff going on with 4 seasoned fighters. Wanted to bring them back, let you all know what's coming up and what is going on with those folks. Tommy, we are back here in studio after an amazing weekend last weekend.
Yeah, phenomenal at the Ilwaco Tuna Club tournament.
Yep.
Big money. We're going to cover that.
We have a lot of information that revolves around tuna and a number of other fisheries to get to tonight. We're going to have a recap on this Ilwaco Tuna Club Invitational. Biggest payouts on the West Coast for any albacore tuna tournament that exists. Fantastic opportunity for us to hang out and just kind of take it all in. So we're excited to bring that to you tonight, along with a lot of other stuff that we'll get to. But before we get too far along, I want to remind everybody that hey, if you have not done so, jump on over to our webpage, www.fishhuntnw.com. You'll see the FHN20 coupon, going to get you 20% off all edge rods all the time, as we are teamed up with Edge Rods. Any rods that you're purchasing via Edge Rods online, you're going to get 20% off at checkout when you enter the coupon code FHN20 if the rod is not already under some other type of special or coupon code. So take advantage of that. Please do so. Tommy, we have all kinds of fisheries going on. Area 10 is cranking for coho right now.
Yeah, still phenomenal.
Yep, doing really well. Willapa Chinook fishery is actually doing very well. Are we going to see a reopener on this lower Columbia Waterville for recreational opportunity?
It's a cliffhanger.
We have some information in regards to that we're going to get to a little bit later on in the show. So as we get stampeding through this, because we got a lot to get to, running down the show for tonight, welcoming back to the show, Mike Groff, 4 seasoned fighters, the first annual gala, what it's all about. This is something you're going to want to pay attention to. Back in the bait lab. Yep, tonight I'm starting a 4-part series, Egg Cure 101. This is a 4-week series starting tonight. What cures and ingredients to use, when and why? Lots of questions on that, Tommy, so I'm going to try to clear that up. Tommy Donlin had a fantastic interview with a friend of ours, Aaron Walker. You remember him from Battlefish days. Aaron Walker was down there at the Invitational. Great little segment they threw together. It's truly a fish story, one you'll want to hear. The Iwako Tuna Club Invitational recap. We will get to that later on in the show. Going to show you folks what that is all about. If you're not accustomed to seeing some of these tuna events, this will kind of recap everything for you. You'll get a gist of what it all goes down at the weigh-in and the awards, what it's all about, how much money gets doled out, especially at this particular event. And then we're going to continue our ongoing series with, the man himself, Tommy Donlin, Tuna Talk with Tommy, as we continue our weekly tuna information and educational component. Tonight, how to read Chloro and SST charts. Tommy, I'm very excited about this one. This will be some solid information from you, my friend. And of course, we'll wind it up, close out the show. We got some more information to get to with Mike. He's not just sitting here because he's so good looking. He's sitting here because you've got some information to share. So, yeah.
I don't know what that says about me, but hey.
You work hard at it. Anyway, tell you what, we are going to bounce out for a quick break. We come back. Mike Groff in the hot seat, 4 seasoned fighters, what the gala is all about, and why you need to attend. All that and more. We come back from this rig right here at Fish on Northwest.
Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you towards living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professionals to interpret your needs and help you find the home in which to live your dream. Through every stage of your home buying or selling process, and through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
Welcome back, Fish on Northwest. Wayne England, Tommy Donlin, and in-studio guest Mike Groff, Four Season Fighters, co-founder of Four Season Fighters, and also the Chief Operating Officer. That's kind of a big fancy title you got going on there, buddy. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey, so you guys have been working hard to launch your first annual Four Season Fighter Gala, September 23rd, Friday. Tell us, what is that about?
First off, credit where it's due. A lot of that is done by my bride and who's our events coordinator. She's been killing it. The why we're having this, for those of you familiar with what we do, we've been operating since 2018, and obviously the need has been great. What we've been doing has been extraordinary, and been very blessed to be a part of that. Unfortunately, the need is well past what we've been able to do and supplement ourselves, or it's been a very grassroots bottom brick, people giving, but the need is bigger, and we're getting asked to do more things. We want to do more things to help more people, so we've never had a fundraiser before. It's a little awkward for us, I think, because we're just get it done type people, and so, but we've realized that this is bigger than ourselves.
Hey, this stuff costs money, man.
And
you got to go to the people.
Unfortunately, right, the logistics that go with that is we're at a place now where with what we do that we need support and help with that, so that we can do more and we can make good, long-lasting changes with folks.
Well, the demand drives the need for the funds to take care of the folks you're taking care of, the firefighters, the cops, the PTSD, the things we talked about the last time you and Zach were here, and Tim, and also the service members, right, that are struggling. So this is a full-on upscale event, black tie, cocktail.
Yes, sir.
Firefighters, go ahead, wear your Class A's, full-service dress uniform. Pretty classy, snazzy event you guys are throwing together here.
Yeah, and I think that's it's going to be a really neat event. But I think as we were debating what type of event to have, it would be something nice where I'm not a big go out and get dressed up guy. None of us
me
really
neither.
are. But
Really, Tommy?
Surprise.
The sleeveless they gave away.
Yeah.
Right, but something where we could take your wife, your girlfriend, your family, and there's going to be a lot of really great people at this event. So every once in a while, it's fun to do that. Get dressed up. It's going to be a nice black tie event. It's going to be a great dinner. There's going to be some fantastic people there. There's going to be some fantastic auction items there. Yeah. It's going to be a really, really, really cool evening.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so speaking of auction items, kind of give us a rundown. What's on the agenda?
Sure. So there's going to be a VIP hour prior to the main kind of event starting of hors d'oeuvres and champagne and kind of getting to hang out with some of the people that are going to be there. And then we'll follow that by bringing everybody back in to the tables. Everybody's got seated at tables, and the sheriff's office is going to do a color guard. We're going to kind of start off the ceremony with color guard and presenting of colors, and we're having a table for fallen and missing soldiers and service folks. I think they're going to do a tribute, a 21 bell ring for that too.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And then that'll go. We'll start serving dinner, and we'll have a little bit of time where I'm going to kind of introduce. We'll have a few speakers, myself and probably Zach, and then our buddy Jose. So kind of what we're doing, why we're doing it. The silent auction will be kind of happening while dinner's happening. Hear from myself and Zach, and then from Jose, who was actually the first person that we took out, which is what started this, and kind of what the impact for him has been. And then
we watched that video first time you guys were here. It is heartwarming. It is amazing to watch him go get that animal. You guys did an amazing job. What you got this auction going on? If persons can't actually be at the event, can't make it to the event, can they participate in the auction? Yep.
So they're actually online prior to even to the gala. The company that's sort of managing that for us, they're going to post that online. So you'll see a bunch of the auction items before the actual event, and whether or not you're physically at the gala or not, you can still bid on items. Obviously, you can still go to the website. You can do donations prior to that if you want to do specifically for that event or for procurement, or just to kind of help us logistically with getting things accomplished.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and all the money goes towards you guys being able to take these, wounded service members, folks struggling with the mental side of things, PTSD, all those, service folks who wear the uniform day in and day out. This is your ability to get them out on these hunts, on these fishing trips, on these group functions, the things that we've covered in the past, right?
Yep, and 100% of that goes towards that mission. There's nobody that gets paid.
Fantastic.
That's very important to us.
Yeah, you guys are all
really
volunteer and put in a heck of a lot of time. So, man, you know what? This is an important event. Where can persons find out information about it and get tickets?
Website's probably the best place.
Yep.
So www.fourseasonfighters, F-O-U-R, seasonfighters.org.
Okay.
There'll be a pop-up for the gala. You can see that. You can see the story. There's a donate button.
Sure.
All that good stuff.
We'll cover that again towards the end of the show. I want to remind folks where to go and get tickets and
Awesome.
why you need to attend this event and what the monies go towards. It's a phenomenal group of men and women doing great things to take care of those who serve. So, all right, we're going to jump out for a quick break. We come back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be in the bait lab for a real quick tutorial. Going to break it down for you. This is installment 1, 4-part series on curing eggs. It's that time of year to start targeting those salmon in those tributary areas. So, starts tonight, 4-part series, Egg Curing 101. We come back right here at Fish on Northwest.
Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
Hi, this is Joe and Megan from Archery World. We have 4 store locations. We are at the Lacey location right now. I just want to highlight some of our camping gear. We have Mystery Ranch packs. We have Crispy boots. We have 6 Hour optics. We carry Havalon knives. We carry Garmin products as well. So it's not just archery. We want to try to make this one-stop shopping for you guys. And so if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
Hey, welcome back, Fish on Northwest Lab. Bait Lab presentations by Sportco and Max Lure. So basically what we have here is a variety of options when it comes to curing eggs. Now, the first thing, really what it comes down to is you have to figure out the quality of eggs that you have harvested that you plan to cure. Do I use a sulfite-based cure, a non-sulfite-based cure, a liquid brine of some sort? How do I decide what to use, and what exactly do sulfites do? So tonight I want to just quickly run through some of the basic principles of these cures and the types of eggs that are best suited, and help you choose or decide which cure is gonna suit your needs. Okay, so a couple options. Right now we're coming up on the end of summer. We have some fish entering into the terminal areas, but we still have a lot of fish out in the saltwater. When we get an opportunity again, we have fish in the lower parts of the Columbia, Great Lakes region. We have fish staged up out there in the main body of waters that, you know, in a couple months will be heading towards the rivers if they haven't already. Those fish that have a longer migration to go to its natal spawning ground or hatchery, you'll find those eggs are much tighter in presence. So in other words, they might be 3/4, 75% developed. They have a lot of skin around them. So the skeins are really tight. And so though they're not immature by any means, they're almost fully mature, but they have a lot of skin intact, and that's the key. You have a really tight skein with really tight eggs, and those are phenomenal to cure. As we enter later into the summer here, get into the early parts of fall, we start getting those fish moving up into the rivers, the tributaries. Those mature fish will now have fully developed, full mature eggs, and as that membrane, as that skin around the skein begins to break down, those eggs become loose. Those eggs, the skin is weak. They don't stay together very well. Now, if I utilize a sulfite-based cure on those much more mature eggs, I'm probably not going to be happy with the results. I get questions all the time. My eggs won't stay together. I cured them. I caught a fish in this river. I cured them up, 1 or 2 casts, the eggs come off the hook, or they milk out really fast. Well, sulfite cures have a great place to be utilized, and they work fantastic. With Potskis, it's fire cure. It's a sulfite-based cure. I use it all the time, but I'm using it on skeins that are much tighter and a little less mature than those fully developed mature eggs that I get out of the river. Okay, so something to keep in mind. What are sulfites? Sodium sulfite, sodium metabisulfite, sodium bisulfite. These are basically food preservatives. The long and short of it is they're a type of preservative. Sodium metabisulfite has been used in pharmaceutical for years. Sodium metabisulfite and sodium bisulfite are a higher grade of preservative that you probably can't really get your hands on, more of a pharmaceutical grade. Sodium sulfite is one that is sold typically at your retail outlets, your sporting goods stores and whatnot. There are some companies that put out sodium sulfite to use in egg cures, and I do have some on hand and use it from time to time. The other thing about these sulfite-based products is that there is, in some regards, on some of them, an inhalation hazard. That's why some of them are a little tougher to come across. But you know, the long and the short of it is, in today's world and in the fishing industry, a company like Potskis pretty much puts everything out there that you need when it comes to curing eggs. So I will use the sodium or the sulfite-based properties for curing eggs, again, that are more mature. One thing about sodium sulfite that we know, often you hear people say, well, sodium sulfite's important because it's a bite stimulant. Well, truly it's a food preserve, okay? The thing about sodium sulfite and using it to preserve food is that, they put it on foods to retain because you want it to retain its color. You want it to retain its ability to last longer in the refrigerator. So it doesn't do anything to tighten and shrink or tighten the skin. Sodium sulfites don't do that. They don't tighten and shrink the skin. Fire brine, for example, a liquid brine, does in fact tighten the skin. That's why we created it to tighten flesh bait type, herring and anchovy and whatnot. The properties in this does a great job at tightening skin and meat. So of course it works really well for eggs and egg skein in skin. Baraxyl fire does the same thing. It tightens the skin. So sodium sulfite has its place. Sodium sulfite cures have their place. And these other types of cures that tighten skin also have their place, and mixing and matching is something that I like to do. So over the next several weeks, we're going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you the difference between tight skein, loose skein, and the exact cure you should be using the results that you want. All right, going to do it for us here in the bait lab. We're going to jump back.
Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
Yep, for sure.
Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Aaron Walker, Team Longshot, brother. Hey, nice work today. It sounds like you found a lot of fish, but there was one fish that really stole the show. Tell us about this.
We're just trolling in the green water, and the bite was good, and we were picking them up, and all of a sudden our Nomad DTX 165 just buries, boom, on the corner, and it buries the rod is flat. Like, holy! So Dean Ferguson runs over there, grabs the rod. He's like, "This is not an albacore. It's just dumping our accurate, right?" Well, holy! We clear the lines. We're like, back down. So we start backing down. And we quickly realize this fish is not only not an albacore, but something larger than we've ever experienced ever offshore. Fish takes off across the ocean, dump, and then accurate just. So we turn the boat, start running, catch up, start picking up line. We get back up close to the fish, and we get up back to our mono one time, and the fish just sounds just on the rail pin, just can't even do it. Just dumps the reel again, right? So Dean's like, okay. So we turn around, and the fish kind of is coming up to the surface again, right? And so we turn the boat, we run up it again, and we get up there, and we're like, back to mono. Get up down tight, that thing just dumps the reel again, right? So Dean's like, dude, I'm done. So I grab the rod. I'm like, all right, let me have this thing, right? Let me show you how this is done. And when I grabbed that rod, I felt the weight of this fish. I was like, holy, this is like something I've never felt ever offshore.
Now, at the closest you had this fish, how close do you think you had him?
20, 30 feet.
20, 30 feet.
We'd come to the surface, and we'd run up there and get all our money back. But as soon as we got up close, we were buried again, right? So we're like, pressed for time. Okay, we got 2 hours run. Now it's like we got 5 minutes. So we start cranking down the drag. This is an hour and 30 minutes later.
Wow.
I mean, battle. Big gear with a dream offshore, and you're like, we're going to get the biggest tuna or we're trying to figure out what it was.
Right.
Was it a big giant bluefin? Was it a big giant blue marlin? Was it a giant thresher shark, salmon shark?
Right.
When I felt that fish, it was 300-400 pound class fish.
Oh my God.
I've landed bluefin, I've landed big bluefin.
Now, how big a tackle are we talking? Like, what was your main line, your spectra, your leader? How big are we talking?
80 pound braid and 80 or 60 pound fluorocarbon leader on a nomad.
Sure, right.
So I was probably putting 25, 30 pounds of drag on it.
Wow.
So at one point in the fight, we ran up on the fish and I backed the drag down, twisted the nut, it went to full Marianne, right? It's like, okay, now it's time to...
Got to make it happen.
We got to get this fish, right? And the sheer bulk of that fish just was no match, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would have had another 45 minutes, an hour...
Right, could have played him out a little bit more.
So.
Yeah.
Now we have to live with ourselves.
I know. And I'm assuming the leader parted.
Actually, right where the nomad's tied on, you can see the fluorocarbon
thinned out. Yep, stretched and thinned out.
But
what color nomad was it? You said it was a 165.
It was the pink backs.
Oh yeah, belly. That's my favorite, man.
I don't want to say that out loud.
Yeah. Well, it's not like this is going on TV.
It only accounted for half of our fish for the PVC quarters.
Know that program.
That lure. So
anyway, hey, nice work, brother. Congratulations.
Well, I wish we would have got it.
Yeah.
But now it's just a fish story.
That's right.
Forever in our mind.
And hey, that's what keeps us going back. All right, welcome back in studio. Nicely done on the interview there, mister.
You know, what Aaron described as part of the addiction, it's why we tuna fish. You never know what's going to happen. You absolutely never know.
Yeah, he was, they fought that thing for an hour and a half, if you didn't catch that in his animated version of what was going on there, the description of his accurate reel, and, how much line was peeling off, and the thing was smoking, literally smoking, he said, right?
Yeah, well, and that's what people don't realize. It's not just albacore tuna. We had a marlin sighting during that tournament as well. Team Fat Cats are the marlin. There was a handful of Dorado cod, a yellowtail cod. We have swordfish up here. We've got makos. We've got threshers. We've got salmon sharks. So who knows? Who knows?
Well, and it's always a variety, and it depends on temperature. We got 68-degree water out there right now in some of those areas these guys are fishing, and the Dorados were getting caught for a couple days in a row, busted some off, and I saw on social media today we had a Dorado caught on one of the charters, and people are putting those pictures out there like, holy smokes, look at this, right? And we're thinking, yeah, that's been going on. This is there were a number of them hooked into during this tournament with 31 boats, right?
There was.
And guys were reporting on it. So
there was also about a 350-pound thresher shark that washed up on the beach down there too.
Oh, there was?
There was.
When did that happen?
There was. Here about 3 days ago, 3 days ago. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And they had determined that shark was too heavy to move, and they had to do the biopsy right on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good. Well, it was a pleasure being down there. We had an absolutely great time. So, hey, if you are tuning in this evening, stick around. Second half of the show coming up after the break on our live stream. Tuning in on Root Sports. Appreciate you tuning us in. Catch us here every week with new live content. We'll be back right after this break for the second half of the show right here at Fish Out Northwest.
Sergeant Daniel Moulter began his tour of duty on October 21st, 1996, and ended his tour on June 27th, 2020. On the authority of Constable Carlos D. Lopez of the Travis County Constable's Office, Precinct 5, badge number 504 is officially retired, and Sergeant Dale Moulter is 1042. Godspeed, Sergeant Moulter.
Honoring fallen law officers of 2021. The 2022 End of Watch Ride begins in May from Spokane, Washington. The ride across the country to honor the men and women of law enforcement who paid the ultimate sacrifice in their service to our communities will cover more than 23,000 miles. We ride to ensure that no fallen officer or their family is ever forgotten. EOW relies on sponsors and donations to cover this cost. Please consider donating to help support the families and departments of the fallen officers. You can donate by visiting our website at www.endofwatchride.com/donate. Please support the Blue.
Hi, we're Joe and Megan Malico, owners of Archery World up here in Lacey.
We're a full pro shop, so we have a full pro service also. We have a huge indoor range. We carry 11 bow lines, all the major bow lines, and then there's subsidiary companies too. Like if we carry Bowtech, we carry Diamond. If we carry Matthews, we carry Mission.
When you come in, we're going to ask you, what kind of price point you're looking for. What's your hope? What's your goals with your bow? And with that information in mind, we'll point you in the direction of, that price point bows, and then maybe give you the option to test fire, maybe a higher level bow, just so you can compare. But it really is all about getting what it is that's going to work for you.
We don't upsell anyone. They shoot it, they like it, they don't like it, they don't get it. We don't operate like that. And so if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
All right, welcome back here in studio. So, Tommy, we had just returned this last weekend. We had a phenomenal weekend, us and the wives and the family, little Thomas. We're down there at the Iwako Tuna Club. We set up our trailer, and Shing had full-on display, all our gear and whatnot, selling during the market all day long, waiting for the boats to come back in, because we knew the boats are going to come back in at some point. The ocean conditions seemed pretty favorable in the morning. Everybody kind of talked about later as the wind picked up and whatnot.
Yeah,
but
it got a little snotty.
It did, but
Yep.
Everybody that showed up had at least 5 fish to weigh in.
Yes.
Right? And so it was a pretty successful tournament in that regard. And man, I tell you what, just to be there, kind of take it all in, talk with people all day long. There's folks that are tuning into the show now, watching us on Root Sports that come walking up. They're like, oh my gosh, you guys are here, which was fantastic. And sold a lot of our swag, getting more of our tuna gear out there, which is always good.
It was a struggle for me, to be honest with you. That's the first time there was a tuna tournament and I was on shore. That does not happen.
Yeah.
So the whole day it just didn't feel right. It was just a little uneasy going through that whole process. But when the guys started coming back in, bringing the tuna in, this excitement started to grow. A Dorado showed up, a yellowtail showed up, and then seeing some of these big fish, it was pretty phenomenal.
It was phenomenal, and we have it fully recapped. So for a lot of you folks that haven't taken time to even get out tuna fishing or aren't really familiar with how these events go on, well, we wanted to capture a little bit of that moment. Tommy does a great job working the crowd and talking to a few of the high-end players that are involved with this thing. And pay attention towards the end on the numbers attached to these payouts. We're just going, holy smokes. And we'll fill you in a little bit about the overall winner and who stayed at his house and why he won. All right? So we'll do a little Ilwaco Tuna Club Invitational recap. Hope you enjoy it.
What do you got there?
Standing here and keep next to these guys.
Yeah. How was it out there today?
Pretty good. It was fun. It was fun. Got a little choppy at the end.
Yeah.
So we left early, but
How many fish you get on board?
I think we had like 28.
Okay, not too bad. These are some nice sized fish here.
Yeah, it belonged to Mr. Fat Cat.
Mr. Fat Cat doing it again. How many fish you guys get?
We have about 40.
About 40?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dustin Green, Team Outlaw.
Yeah.
How'd it go today?
Not bad. We got about just under 30 fish, I think. 28, 29, somewhere in there.
Awesome. What did you see out there? Was it mostly troll fish, bait fish?
Yes, it was rough. So it was tough to convert to bait. I think we got maybe 2 on bait and everything else was
Yeah. How long did that bait last for you?
not very long.
Yeah, I bet that was one of the challenges.
Yeah.
Did you guys deploy any
dead when it was out there?
Did you guys deploy any other tactics like swim baits, iron, any of that?
We tried with iron, but it was so rough that you were just moving too fast.
Sure.
But we saw another Dorado jump when we were still running, so we just, and then we just fished that same spot all day, and it was a good grade of fish. All our fish were 15 to 20, but unfortunately none of them were up over mid-20s or so.
So mostly a troll show, it sounds like.
It was all troll show.
And
yeah.
what
I ended up throwing, I had 13 rods and lines out there.
That's awesome. I love it. So what was your number one troll rig?
Zucchinis. I had all zucchini shit.
Yeah.
And then a couple of cedar plugs that did okay.
Right on. Well, we'll see how you fared. Hey, nice work out there.
Thank you.
Tough conditions.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That looks like a hog right there.
Yeah, we did all right with that.
Yeah.
That was one of our first ones. We started out the day pretty well.
Right on. Now, did you get them mostly on the troll, mostly on bait, a little bit of both?
We got a little both. We got early on when the bait was still good, we converted to bait pretty well. So, but then the bait died, and it got a little windy.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of switch to just.
Now you guys had some big baits. It looked like. Do you have some big anchovies?
Yeah, they were big, but they just haven't been in the pens long enough
Right.
to really cure up. So they don't hang on too long.
Yeah.
This early, but they worked great early for
Right
us.
on. How about the iron? Did you get the iron going today?
We did not. We didn't get anything on the irons today, but we were focused on the bait pretty much in the morning, and then it got windy in the afternoon, and it got tough just to even keep control gear going.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah.
Right on. Well, looks like you got the right grade right there. I like that one right on top.
That boy right there might be the one that puts us there.
Hell yeah! Congratulations.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
And it pains me to say this.
This is painful.
This is the hardest thing I've had to do in a long time.
Very painful.
I don't know that I'm probably going to have to get medical help. Biggest fish. Open wide. $15,139. Here we go, 5th place, Team Outlaw, $5,677. Nice work, brother, nice work. All right, and I saw second chance and thought I said second place, sorry. In 4th place, Second Chance for $11,354. Nice work, guys, nice work. All right, in 3rd place, Team Fat Cat. Nice work. $16,401. Like they need it. All right, in 2nd place, another round, $25,232. Yeah, the 300 horsepower kicker might be able to get an upgrade. All right. It's not going away, apparently. In first place, Team Open Wide for $37,848. Nice work. Doc Kelly.
I heard.
Give me that thing. Hey, I'm sure you guys are all aware of what a great job these guys have done for the Tuna Club, and what an amazing event these guys put together. Yeah, I know we won, but that's not what I'm here for. I think we need to give these guys a round of applause. This is an amazing event. They did a great job. Seriously. No, we appreciate it, and our goal is obviously to continue to do this for as long as we can, right? As long as it's beneficial to the community, the fishing community, the city of Ilwaco, and the place that we like to hang out and have a good time.
How much we're able now to donate?
Yeah, so with all of that, we'll probably be able to donate about $30,000 back to the community out of this event. So that's pretty cool. It was a big entry fee, but we paid a lot of money out, and we got a lot of money going back out to the community. So really, really appreciate everybody stepping up and helping out.
Well, there you go, Thomas. A little recap of what we experienced while we were down there.
When Doc Kelly and his team rolled up with those fish, you may notice if you picked it up in the video, and again, this is before the fish ever got weighed, I said, congratulations.
You did.
And because I knew, looking at those fish, I'm like, those fish are not like the other ones. These fish are special.
They're a little different.
And I think that put him into the lead by, at the time when they weighed his fish in, about 6-7 pounds,
it was
something
7
like that.
pounds.
Yep. And when you're talking a tuna tournament where it's your top 5 heaviest, 1 pound is a lot. 7 pounds is a substantial lead. And he held that for the rest of the weigh-ins.
He was one of the few guys that turned in multiple fish over 20.
Yep.
And that was the difference that really pushed him out front. And the other thing was, you just, as you mentioned, you look at the size of those fish coming in. The big fish that was hung just before he took the lead on big fish was 25.4.
Right.
So he beat big fish by 2 ounces, which netted him 15 extra grand. Right. By 2 ounces. Right.
So $53,000 total purse.
Total purse for him and his crew.
Yeah.
Taking away big fish in first place. I also want to make a point, Mark, towards the end as I closed out there. They do have in around $30,000 of giving back to the community and a couple nonprofit organizations that they work with down there out of Ilwaco. So that is fantastic. This isn't just all about generating money and stuffing it back in people you hang out with pockets. This is about bringing folks together, putting on a phenomenal event, and somehow having the ability to trickle that money into the community. They used to take the tuna, get it to the canneries, disperse that back in the community. But with all these tuna tournaments and just years, I mean, they got warehouses still with tuna in cans waiting to be distributed. So they went out in the community and asked, hey, what's your needs, right? What's your needs? And they align themselves with a couple organizations that they give them the money, and then they take care of the needs, and it works for everybody.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, in this tournament, you have boats of all sizes, right? There's, 60 plus foot Bertrams, and Doc Kelly is running, a moderately sized pilot house, right? And so it just goes to show that it's not about the vessel. Some people like to complain in these tournaments, oh, well, so-and-so's got a 39-foot, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And it's about the fishermen, it's about the team, it's about the strategy, it's not just about the size of the boat and the gear, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a very good point. He talked a little bit about, how they approached it, how their day started off and how they finished, and some adjustments that they made, and, how they found success early, and credit to him. I honestly believe the reason he won all of this is because we were staying at his house.
That's got to be it.
That's the only reason this all came together, is because us and our wives and family, we were hunkered down there at the Kelly dojo for better part of a couple days.
Yeah.
His guest house.
It was like walking into a small Cabela's. Let's face it.
It was fantastic. Yeah, there's dead animals hanging everywhere, fish everywhere. It was great. We had a great time. Follow the Iwako Tuna Club on social media, and if you're a tuna fisherman or lady and are looking in that region to get involved with the club, they now have a waiting list, because it's becoming a popular venue to hang out
Yeah.
at, and why not?
It's phenomenal.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, the club, the people are great.
Yep. All right, with more Tuna Talk, Tommy, gonna jump out for a break and come back, and then you're front and center, my man. This week, continuing Tuna Talk with Tommy, how to read Chloro and SST charts. Get out your notepads or get your phone ready to take notes. This man's gonna school you up. Right here, we come back from this break. Fish on Northwest.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride in Bremerton, Washington. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why Arima boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. Arima can offer every boat with Honda outboard packages so that you can take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Call or stop by Arima Boats today and let them help you get into your very next boat.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
All right, welcome back in studio here to Wayne England, Tommy Donlin, and guest Mike Groff. We have more to get to with you, Mike, so don't go anywhere. We have a little bit of tuna talk to do. This is In Our Backyard, presented by Phoenix Protective Corp. Check out everything they got going on. If you're looking for employment, phoenixprotectivecorp.com. Tommy, a little bit of tuna talk with you. It's been going on for a couple weeks here, man. Are we starting to run out of information?
Never. You know what? I was just thinking, like, we need to start like a fish hunt university.
Yeah.
And I could be a full-time professor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Professor Donlin.
And I'll be the chair of the tuna department. Okay, how about that?
Chair of the tuna department.
Yeah.
Is that a fighting chair of the tuna department?
Sure, it sure could be.
Fighting chair.
Yeah, we don't need fighting chairs for our tuna, but in some fisheries you might.
No, we don't.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to mention, Jeff Wilson, shout out to you, man. 17 tuna. That's awesome.
Yeah, great job.
Nice work, brother. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Hey, we had another comment here that I want to talk briefly about before we jump into the main topic of SSTs and chloros. Comment is, I think the tuna fishermen on the Oregon coast and the Washington coast, you better start using bigger gear like they use on the East Coast for bluefin tuna. It's like 130 wide pen reels and basically roller guide fishing rods and a roller tip. Mm-hmm. So the reason that we do not do that is because it's an albacore tournament, first and foremost. So the majority of the fish, I mean, to be honest with you, the average size this year is lower than what we've seen in years past, and it's typically around 16 to 18 pounds.
Yeah.
Not a big fish. No. Not a big fish, right? The biggest fish of this tournament was just over 25 pounds. Even by albacore measure in our waters, that's a modest fish. That is not a large albacore tuna. The other thing is, you cannot run the game that we run with these tuna with 130 wides. You're not going to take 5 130 wides and clear them out of the way and then start live bait fishing with, a very small, accurate 400 size reel, right? That is not going to happen.
That is not going to happen.
And you're not going to find your average albacore fisherman going to the store and buying a $1,000 130 wide and then filling it with another $300 of line, and then getting an $800 rod to pair it with, and then doing that 5 times over.
What are we fly fishing here?
Right. Now, the other thing, if you listen to Aaron's interview, the thing that he mentioned is he talked about the leader that he was using, fluorocarbon 60 pound, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are definitely focused in on albacore fishing with the understanding that if we encounter a swordfish, if we encounter a thresher shark, right, or a mako, there's a chance we're not going to land those fish, right?
Sure.
And that's part of the game when you're fishing a high money albacore tournament, which is what this was, with the winner coming out with $53,000, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to optimize around something that you're very unlikely to hook in the first place.
Sure.
Just for the chance that you might
it's a
hook
low
and land it.
percentage target, right? It's like, we're going to go with the high percentage target. What are we out here going after? We're
Right.
going to rig accordingly. We're not going to over rig. We're going to stick within our means, and that's exactly what everybody does.
Right,
so,
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk about that for a second. This installment here, this is the fourth in the tuna series that I've covered. In the first one we talked about troll baits, basically what troll lures do you want to use, how do you run them, that kind of thing. The second one was how to read weather. How do you know when you go or stay at the dock? The third one was about my ideal live bait setup. And then the fourth one is right here and present, right? And that's sea surface temperatures and chlorophyll charts. Now, the important thing that I want to really dial in here is that if you don't have a subscription to rip charts or satfish, you're not going to know where to go, right? And yesterday's report from somebody else is only as good as yesterday. We've had plenty of times where, we hammer the fish, we'll put 40 on the boat, we run out there the next day, the water's dirty, right? Or it's off temperature, or the water's blotchy, meaning that you gain temp, you lose temp, you gain temp, you lose temp. It's not consistent, right? So you cannot rely on reports. In fact, when we placed in the Washington Tuna Classic this year, the location that we went to was purely off of these charts, and that's it. Because you know why? The couple days before that, the fishing went dead. Folks were coming back to the dock with a couple fish here, a couple fish there, nothing really reliable, right? And if you weren't looking at sea surface temperature and chlorophyll charts, you really didn't have an idea on where the tuna would be. And there's a lot of things that you can tell from these images. So the first thing I want to do, if you flash up the image, Jordan, is talk about the chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is going to be on the left side of your screen. Okay, now what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a measure of plankton in the water. Effectively, it's a measure of clarity. And why is this important? Well, tuna, with their giant eyeballs, love to hang out in clear water, but they have to be near a food source. That food source is concentrated where the plankton is, so they're going to dip into some of that dirtier, greener water, feed, and then dip back out or hang right on that edge. So this particular shot was taken just a few days ago, and it really shows, if you look, and again, we're looking at chlorophyll measured in the milligrams per meter cubed. We're looking at that logarithmic scale at the bottom, which I know it's hard to see, but you're looking for 0.3 to 0.7 milligrams per meter cubed concentration. And when you look at this chart and you can see where Westport is just below where it's labeled Ocean Shores, you look directly offshore, you're going to see Grace Canyon, and the first thing you're going to notice is the green color and kind of the turquoise turning into blue. That break right there is where those tuna have been hanging out, right inside of the 125 line, 124.52, 124.55, kind of creeping out to 124.58. You can see that break right there, and that's where that clean water is, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand. Now, the other reason I really like this spot right off of Westport is because if you look to the north and you look to the south, you're going to see that green color. And that green color denotes the fact that maybe you've got some off-color or dirtier water in there. And what happens is those tuna come into that peninsula of blue water. They go a little bit north and they go, yeah, that's dirty, I'm going to stay out of that. Oh, they go a little bit south, same thing. What happens is they get bottled in that area and they get concentrated. And when they get concentrated, that's when you have the melees, right? So that's your chlorophyll. If you look to the right, you've got your sea surface temperature chart. Now, the first thing I want to mention, and I always do this, is I adjust the temperature legend. So it starts with a range that goes from 50 degrees to about 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I bring that down. I try to scrunch the temperature gradient so that when you're looking at that color grade, it's 54 to 67, 55 to 67. Again, remembering that tuna will be in 56 degree water occasionally, but most of the time you're going to see them in 59 degree water and up. all the way up to 66-degree water. So I really want to exacerbate the breaks by making a smaller legend. So that's first and foremost. The second thing, and the weird thing, I guess, too, is that time of day matters. This particular shot was taken at 9:24 in the morning. You really want a middle of the night or an early morning shot because you're getting zero effect from solar heating on the water. It's the true sea surface temperature, right? Not affected by the sun. The weird thing is that this year, for whatever reason, the satellite has not been providing shots at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's always kind of this late morning to middle of the day shot. And so you try to get that as early in the day as possible. It's not to say that the other shots, you can't rely on, but you definitely try to get those earlier shots. Now, when you get into your app, and in this case, we're looking at rip chart shots, I'm looking at granule shots, meaning that I want a single unfiltered satellite shot. I don't want something that's a daily summary. I don't want a 3-day summary. I want just one shot. Tell me what the water's doing, one shot. And then when you're looking for the breaks, I want a hard break. I want something that goes from 56 to 61 degree water, right? The harder the break, the more likely it is that the tuna are just on the warm water side or the clearer side of that break. And when you can get a break, a temperature break that coincides with a color break that coincides with a topographical break or a bathymetrical break, i.e. the canyon, that is just a recipe for absolute melee, okay? The tuna are gonna be there. Now, the thing is, when you look at these charts, the thing that you really wanna do is you wanna say, okay, my plan A is, and then pick a spot. My plan B is, and pick another spot. And it's just like hunting. You're doing a big game hunt, you're in, a couple units, you got to have a plan A, and if that doesn't work out, a plan B, plan C, and so on. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, when you're looking at the color specifically, the tuna, especially later in the season, they're going to get more and more comfortable with greener water, more comfortable with colder water, and you'll find them migrating into those areas. Also, the tuna in there will typically also be larger fish. But I will warn you, we've seen tuna in 390, 400 feet of water plenty of times, and they are just picky. You'll see them busting the surface, foaming, boiling, blitzing the surface, and be damned if you can get them to bite. So just remember that, yeah, you might see those tuna in close in that green water, but sometimes that doesn't always mean that you can convert those fish.
How great is it you can use modern technology, satellite imaging, a day or two ahead, and really, like when, to simplify it, it's like when I go fish the river, there's intel I gather locally and whatnot. I want to maximize my opportunity and whatnot. But we're talking about pinpoint accuracy and really drilling down on where I'm going to take my boat, how many miles offshore, and my first drop is going to be out here in the ocean. It's a big ocean last time I checked.
Yeah, well, you nailed it. Those that went before us, they had a compass and they just said, I'm going to go west, right?
Yeah.
But this is almost cheating, and it's funny because people often complain about, I don't want to pay for a subscription. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, look at the price of fuel.
So you don't want to pay for a prescription, but you're going to buy all the gear, all the reels, the rods, outfit the boat, the fuel, as you just mentioned, the insurance, the maintenance, all the things that it takes to simply pull off successfully one tuna trip for the year. And you're gonna scrimp or make cutbacks on your intel.
Right.
Intel is everything. I don't care if you're
sense.
fishing or hunting or whatever. Intel is the difference between a successful day and just getting damn lucky.
Right. And at $100 to $150 for a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah, $10 a month.
That is just it's cheap insurance, and it doesn't make sense to not have it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
yeah, the two that I use are rip charts and satfish.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. Yeah. And they do very well for you.
Absolutely.
They do very well for you. So fantastic, really solid information as always. I told you guys you're going to learn a thing or two from this young man, and he will continue to bring it as long as you continue to ask him to do so.
I wish I was young. 39 now, man.
Oh my gosh. 39. The big 4-0 coming up next year.
It's almost
Time to
over.
retire. Time to retire. Pack it in. All right, we are going to jump out for a quick break. Thank you, Tommy. That was really good stuff there for sure. We come back. Hey, we got to get Mike back in the hot seat here. We got a few things to talk about with Four Season Fighters and exactly, what's going on with them, where they're heading in the future, and how you need to be involved to support their cause. I strongly suggest it. Don't go anywhere. out for a quick break. We'll be back right here, Fish on Northwest.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride in Bremerton, Washington. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why Arima boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. Arima can offer every boat with Honda outboard packages so that you can take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Call or stop by Arima Boats today and let them help you get into your very next boat.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
Hey, welcome back, Fish on Northwest, Wayne England, Tommy Donlin. And yes, Mike Groff still hanging out, waiting his chance or opportunity. But Mike, before we get to you,
we're gonna make you wait a little bit more.
Just a little bit longer here. A couple things going on. So a lot of folks, my phone's been blowing up almost every day. Tommy, folks ask, "Hey, is this Columbia River going to reopen?" So right now you can fish above Bonneville for salmon, and they're having some great success up there. By the way, this time of year, that upper stretch can fish pretty well. The reach is about ready to get going to fish, and it's going to be cranking. But hey, for us here on the west side, we'd like it to see it a little closer to home. We'd like to get this lower river open back up. There was a meeting today, but it was only to come to terms and agreement of the tribal conducted fisheries above Bonneville, which they do every year, and you can throw rocks at them and get mad, but those are the contributing folks that put a bunch of those fish into our fisheries that we get to take advantage of when it's open. So they get their opportunities as well. The bit of information that also came out of that meeting later on, I want to thank Bill Monroe Jr. for posting this out there and firing people up. Recreational fisheries below Bonneville will now be discussed September 13th. Fingers crossed for this change in meeting schedule. So the 13th, that's 5 days from now.
Yeah.
Why is that a problem? Well, because there was information that also came out today that the Thule Passage is typically 65% complete by September 7th. I'm like, okay, well, today's the 8th, so we should be about 65, 70%. Oh, no, not the case. That's based on the 10-year average run timing, Tommy. The Thule Passage to date over Bonneville is greater than the total passage projected at preseason. So I would have to assume that we're probably in excess of the benchmark 10-year model of 65%.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that number is. There's been no numbers posted as what that looks like. That's kind of been the ongoing conversation I've had with folks. Like, well, what are they looking for? What's the number? How many Thules need to be over Bonneville to then feel like we got all our Thules into the Kalama and the Lewis and the Cowlitz and all those feeder streams, those contributing rivers in those Thule programs that we're pumping out. So I don't know what the number is. They're going to make us wait another 5 days until they even have a meeting. just to have a meeting to discuss whether or not they're going to open it to line and hook below Bonneville. So all of them upriver brights making their way on up the river, all of them coho. Yeah, just we're sitting on the sidelines. Sitting on the sidelines, unless you want to hook the boat up and drive east, it can be done. So, okay, that's the update there. Mike, waiting patiently. Hey, I want to thank you for coming, and good night, everybody.
Yeah.
So, hey, Four Season Fighters, you said 2018?
2018, yeah.
2018.
That's the genesis.
Kicking this off, yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the organization. So hunting season's coming up, right?
Yep.
I mean, obviously.
Yep.
And so moving into this fall season, you guys have some trips lined up, and with whom, and what's kind of the goal? Who are you getting out?
Yeah, so we had our kind of the trip that started all is the mule deer hunt that we did, and that's kind of our baby. Just it's what we started with. You know, we've done a bunch of turkey hunts this year already, right? We took 2 Marine brothers down to Texas earlier this year, up in March, April, down floated the Devil's River and did that odd ram hunt. So, which was a remarkable trip.
I can imagine.
So we'll do our fall stuff. We had an archery stuff lined up. You know, we've touched base with people in Wyoming and Montana, and again, kind of like the point of the fundraisers, like everybody wants us to come and do stuff, and the need is huge. And so it's really just how many hunts, how many people can we help and work with that we just have the logistics and the financing for. So we're hoping to do some other things even later season. There's some people have asked that, hey, come out, have this block of property, come hunt a late season deer. Or down in Texas, or hog hunts, or all sorts of different things. So trying to get all those things lined up. It's just, it's just a logistics war, unfortunately, with some of it. So
yeah. So when you look back at all of these hunts that you provided to these deserving individuals over the years, like what are some of the most memorable hunts for these folks and yourself?
You know, and you guys know, I mean, we do things a little differently and do it purposefully differently because we don't want what we do to be a high five, wasn't that a great weekend, and then you go on your life and there's no real long-lasting generational change. And so, you know, the ones for me, well, for all of us, it still give me goosebumps. You know, like Aaron's hunt last fall is a great example of that. You know, we took Aaron, who was a double amputee, and was in a rough spot. And this is something he would tell you himself, and wasn't working and all that stuff. We took him on this hunt, and he had lost right arm, right leg, was right-handed shooter. We had to reteach to shoot left-handed, left eye, non-dominant eye, the whole deal. Worked really hard, got him he got a fantastic deer, made a great shot at like 360 yards first time shooting, you know. But so then, you know, part of what we do, like you guys know, is we just don't take people out, we equip them, right? So we give them, part of what we do is we want to give them rifles and equipment so they continue that. Well, we sent Aaron's rifle down to the FFL dealership for him to pick up. Well, 2 weeks after that, we get a call. He's like, hey, I got a job. I'm working here at the store.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Fantastic. And like 3 weeks later, we get another call. He's like, hey, I'm the assistant manager now. Right? And
that's awesome.
And 3 weeks after that, we get a call. It's like, hey, I'm going to go get fitted for a prosthetic because I want to shoot a bow and take my kids out hunting. And so, like those things.
Changed his life completely, right?
Yep.
He has goals now. He's accelerating. He's just taking it, by the horns, just going forward. I mean,
fantastic dude. And it's just, when we can make impacts like that. It's enormous.
Yeah. And I mean, we're lucky to be able to have relationships, honestly, with the vets that have served, our country. And so I think it's, I don't know, I've gotten the chance to do a couple things like that along those lines. And to me, that in my life, those are some of the moments in the relationships that I cherish the most.
Yeah,
for sure.
So the Gala event is September 23rd.
Yep.
Black tie, dress, cocktail attire.
Yep.
Where can folks go for tickets, and how much are they, and how do folks get involved with this thing?
So go to the website, www.fourseasonfighters.org. Ticket sales are going to be for 2 more days. So you got today and tomorrow, and then we have to close them out because the event place has a head count stuff. But I won't give away the whole surprise, but there's going to be great auction items. There's going to be firearms and jewelry and weekend getaway packages and skydiving and golf memberships and all sorts of really cool stuff.
Really good stuff.
And our auctioneer's name is Tucker Cool. For real.
Oh,
awesome.
So, I mean,
Tucker Cool.
How could you go wrong with that?
How can you go wrong with a guy named Tucker Cool, right?
So let me ask you this: if Fish on Northwest wants to purchase 2 tickets, and then I can give those away to a couple that wants to attend the event.
Absolutely.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
So Fish on Northwest will pick up 2 tickets. They're $125 a piece.
Awesome.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we're gonna put those out. So you have to. The purchase of the tickets is for 2 more days because you guys got to get head count and food and everything, and I get that. So I'm encouraging you, go to www.fourseasonfighters.org, look on their website. It'll navigate you right to the event, right to the ticket purchase and the different levels of purchase and what that all means. So please take some time and go do that, and plan on spending the evening there on the 23rd to a phenomenal event. In the meantime, I'll purchase 2 tickets here. The company will purchase 2 tickets, and then Tommy and I will somehow next week we'll give those away on Thursday to a deserving couple or a couple buddies that want to go or whatever it is. But 2 folks are going to go attend the first annual gala on our dime. Just send folks to you guys and for crying out loud, you guys put me on a turkey hunt that was just a mind blow, and all I did was retire from the fire department. So, it was an amazing trip. We had some really good time together, quality time. Came home with another 410 shotgun, Harper's first shotgun, and all the gear and everything. I didn't need all that, but you guys are like, no, you're more deserving. You're just as deserving as anybody else, and I was taken back, man. It was unbelievable.
The flag,
and most importantly, the relationship.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So, so okay, we'll purchase 2 tickets for that event, and we're going to send 2 folks to that on the 23rd, September 23rd. So if you're tuning in here or watching this through the weekend, be in mind, and we're going to put that out there on our social media platforms to get people to, want to step up. And I don't want these tickets going to somebody who's not going to go. It's like, if you're seriously going to go, experience this event and take it all in, and the dinner and the auction, the whole deal, and want to get dressed up, take your significant other out for the evening. This is an event that you definitely want to go to. So
Friday, September 23rd.
Friday, yes, September 23rd.
Friday night.
Yep.
Get a babysitter.
There you go. Yep. Right on. All right, Mike, I want to thank you for making the drive down.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Safe travels on the way home and that 2-wheel beast you have out there.
Yeah.
You got to give me a jump. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, not a problem.
Leave the headlight on and, roll the dices. Anyway, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Had a great time tonight. Tommy, well done as always.
Nice.
Thank you, sir.
And we will be back next Thursday. We'll be putting the information out during the week. We'll get these tickets in hand and be giving them away to 2 lucky folks who will be attending the gala event on Friday, September 23rd with Four Season Fighters and Mike and the fellas and all the folks involved with this thing. So, again, thanks for coming down. Had a great time.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week right here at Fish on Northwest.